Thank you. Great to be back. Just a couple things up front. I just want to say thank you. This room, obviously, you guys have chosen a profession. You're in this room for a reason. You love your job and what it brings. For me as a head coach, I enjoy working with our media, sometimes a little bit more than others. But the part that I think is truly unique, and I feel this way every year I've been a head coach that's never wavered, is anything we can do to make your job a little easier, I definitely want to do it. I never try to stand in the way of information. I never try to stand in the way of anything but truth. Sometimes you may not agree with it, you may not want to hear it, and I may feel the same way, but I do respect what you do and how you do it. And it makes our game as great as it can be. I think all the time about the SEC, especially coming here. I love to coach the game. I know that you report it, you love it, and our players love being a part of it, our fans love being a part of it, and I think that's what makes it so cool. So appreciate that. I'll take a minute to talk about last year. That's about all I need to do. Pause and move on. We definitely did that during the spring, summer, and winter conditioning. I thought we had a group of young men that want to get better. 3 guys I brought with me today, starting with Trey Flowers. Last year's recruiting class, I think, was a good one, but the best recruit I could do was keep him in our program. He's a kid that stands for everything that you want. He's a 3.0 plus student, academic all-SEC, probably one of the most tremendous workers. Anything that we ask him to do, selfish, unselfish, if we ask him to rush a passer, if we ask him to drop in his own coverage, he just says, I'll do it. He doesn't ask questions as why. He represents everything that you can ask for. And when I went at home, one of the disadvantages I had as a head coach at Arkansas is I didn't get to go in the home of every young man that is on our team. I think you learn a lot about a kid when you recruit him when he's 16, 17, 18 years old. You find out what made him who he is. You find out who made him what he was, and what can make him, do things better when you get him. So I had never been in Trey's home. I met his mom and dad and a couple of his family members, but last January, when I went in, or I guess it was December, had a chance to go over and visit with Trey and his family in his home about the decision, was worth its weight in gold for me, to find out exactly what it was that made him tick, and honored to have him back with us. He's a kid that will be done with his degree when his eligibility finishes up in December and move on, hopefully a great NFL career. Also on the defense side of the ball, I brought with me Alan Turner, someone that was our leading tackler from a year ago. It's never a good sign when your safety's a leading tackler, but it was the truth. He was a kid that got better every game, was not a starter at the beginning of the year, but got better every day. Really bought into what we were asking him to do. Tremendous competitor, plays with a lot of pride. I know to wear that hog on the side of the helmet means a lot to him, and is a guy that I really think might be posing himself and setting himself up for an extra special senior year. Offensively, I brought Bret Cook. He's actually got more starts on the offensive side of the football than anybody else on our roster. He's a young man that has continued to fight and get better every day. He was playing tackle when we first got there. We switched him to guard. We ended up bouncing him back out to tackle. He flourished in every game, playing at a level that he just continues to impress us, amaze us. His leadership skills have gone off the charts since we've been there. He does everything that we could actually dream of as coaches, and really honored to have those 3 guys represent us here. I think you should know I get a big kick out of reading certain things, and I didn't bring the flashiest, I didn't bring the sexiest, I didn't bring the cutest. Everybody wants you to bring the quarterback, the pretty boys, everybody always popular. I brought 3 seniors that represent what hog football is all about. They represent all of the things on and off the field. They represent everything that I want in my program. And as a head coach, that's all I care about. I don't care about what the outside world perceives I should do. I care about what makes our program better. And when you take 3 seniors to represent our program, and I'll go back and show them footage and video clips and examples of what they say and what they speak to represent our program, speaks volumes, and they'll continue to grow from there. About this season, we had some transition on the coaching staff. We lost our defensive coordinator, we lost the defensive line coach, and another secondary coach. It allowed me to improve our coaching staff in general. We stayed status quo on offense, had some transition on the off-the-field positions with our GAs, but defensively they had Rob Smith and what he brings to the table. Couldn't be happier. I think he's going to bring a flavor of defense that is aggressive, lets our guys play with a simplistic manner, and lets them have a little bit of fun. They had Roy Segrest, our defensive line coach, has been a huge addition, and in the back end, Clay Jennings that I brought from TCU has been a huge asset, and just someone that I can't wait to see the results on the football field. Offensively, we bring back the starting quarterback and Brandon Allen that has had probably one of the best honest seasons that I've ever seen a positional player have, let alone a quarterback. He's gotten stronger. He's gotten better mentally. He understands expectations that he needs to fulfill as a quarterback. Around him, he's got 3 running backs that I think are exceptional, and Jonathan Williams, Dallas Collins, and Corliss Marshall. At tight end, we had Hunter Henry back, who was a freshman sensation and All-American, does a lot of great things, but A.J. Derby, in my opinion, may be one of the surprises of not only our football team, but hopefully one of the best stories in the SEC this year. I think he's shown us in practice what he can be. Is truly exceptional. We got an offensive line that lost a couple tremendous players, but I think overall regained a strength that hopefully will be one of the biggest strengths in our program, not just this year, but years to come. Some of you that know my history know that I believe in building from the ground up, and the offensive line play will continue to get better, and we'll continue to recruit at a high level at that position. Wide receivers will probably be one of the greatest positions of emphasis during fall camp. Jared Cornelius and Cody Hollister, 2 receivers that we added last year in January, were very impressive during the spring drills. I think Keegan Hatcher, Eric Hawkins, a couple other players from a year ago, and to get Demetrius Wilson back for his senior year will be great on defense. It all starts up front again. Have Trey Flowers return, Darius Phylon, Marcus Hodge, a couple guys that got a little bit of limited role play last year. In the middle that really jumped up in the back, in the middle. Brooks Ellis continued to move forward. Martrell Spate had an incredible spring. A guy that really began to become a playmaker that I think he can be. Brandon Mitchell, the same linebacker, continued to show great leadership, and I think they have a great senior year in the back end. In addition to Alan Turner to have Rowan Gaines, and then really 4 or 5 corners. It might have been a position of weakness. I think if you probably talked to our opponents and got inside on their, if you could open up their scouting reports, it would have said expose our corners whenever possible. I think we took note of that. We made them take note of it, and I'd be very surprised if that's not one of the most improved positions on our team from a year ago to this year. So in the kicking game, we have a young man that if you get a chance to interview him, you'll definitely want to do it. Sam Irwin Hill is from Australia. He's got the accent, the humor, and the quotation skills to gain your interest in a short amount of time. He can actually punt with both his right foot and his left foot. If anybody else here can do that, I beg you to show me. He's a very talented player and a guy that will be an effective weapon for us. Our kicking game will be open to John Henson, and we signed a freshman, Cole Headland, who's one of the most decorated kickers in high school football history, not just in the state of Texas, but in the country. So excited for those 3 units to work together, excited for the season, and